Hi everyone. In my first session, we talk about the pricing strategies, and there are different pricing techniques, and then how you actually what are the affecting when you're going to price some product, what are the factors which affects, and also we did talk about this granite deco and also the Kowloon gift shop their pricing strategy, like good introductory case study, like good brainstorming case study, and you can see after we talk about the different factors which affect the pricing, such as the marketing mix of the business, and then the objective of the business, taxes, government taxes will affect the pricing strategy, and also the competition level, the level of competition, the competitors' prices will be affecting our prices. Consumer perception, the customers' income, about the customers' mindset, customer what customers thinking about the class they are giving for you. That's also a matter when you are deciding the price, and also very important thing is the cost of the product that manufacturing or importing or buying, that also affect the price. And after we talk about the cost plus pricing method, it is adding a percentage of the markup to the cost producing a product to get the price. So uh, it's very easy calculation we talk about, like a different exercise examples also we talk about, and then cost plus pricing, like this cost is 100, markup is let's say 10%. So adding a $10 profit margin, and then adding to the cost back, so 110 will be the selling price. So the we talk about this is very easy to calculate and in very convenient method is guaranteed some profit margin. However, the main disadvantage, limitation of cost plus price we talk about, that they ignore the market conditions and external factors. So that's the main disadvantage. And also under we talk about the penetration pricing. In the penetration pricing, we talk about this charging a low price in order to penetrate into the market, and then when the market establish, then you're going to increase the prices gradually. So penetration pricing means setting a low price to start with in order to get established in the market, and price may be raised once established. That's the penetration pricing method. The penetration pricing method, one advantage is you can easily grab like a large market share, because a lot of customers, a lot of people, they wanted to, they are bargain hunters. So therefore, a lot of people would like to purchase that low prices. However, the now one disadvantage of penetration pricing would be the people will think that the product is cheaper, therefore the quality also will be lower. Therefore, the product, the image will be go down as a result of that in the beginning. And also, we talk about the next one. Competition pricing methods, and that we talk about the pricing strategies based on the price charged by rivals. We talk about the different pricing techniques like competition based pricing, like going rate pricing, destroyer pricing, all that things. These always this based on the competitor, so you're not following any technique here. The only technique you're following is you are always researching about the competitors prices, and then based on that you also change or modify your charging same price like competitors. So commission based pricing is very easy because it's only have to research about the rivals market price, and then according to that you also have to charge the same price. That's called the going rate pricing, or sometimes you can charge a lower price than them. That's called the destroy pricing or predator pricing. Sometimes it can be the main reason for that kind of a strategy is actually giving a very good influence in the market, and then you can dominate the market by driving out the rivals. You can go out of the business. That's what happened. So these are the main pricing strategies we talk about in the my first session. So today I'm going to start with the this activity number one. You can see the case study coffee shops. So Edaro runs the busy coffee shops in central Rosario, Argentina. However, in 2015, the multinational coffee chain opened in a branch opposite to the Edaro shops, the multinational coffee chain shop. MNC coffee chain shop, you can see for the first one I can remember is a Starbucks coffee shop. And also there are some other coffee shops like Coffee Bean, Barista. So a lot of coffee shops are there available like that. So one of the multinational company has situated next to opposite to the Idaro's coffee shop. That's how they do normally. Even multinational companies also, they're looking at a target market. If there's a small competitor is there, they're going to actually establish there in the same place in the same town next to him. So that's because a lot of people was used to come to buy coffee into that place. So therefore it's very easy to grab the market from them. So then what happened as a result of that? The thing that upset the Idaro's most was the pricing policy of the new rival. The prices charged by multinationals were the half of what Udaras was charging. It's a pathetic situation. Imagine if you're charging like $5, so they are charging at $2.5, like a half of the prices they charge or either. You can see that's the main challenge, because then no one will want to buy coffee from him, because there is a like a more cheaper and also better highly recognized multinational firm is there opposite for your business. So naturally, what happened? Customers started to fall, and Idaro said, "I know what will happen. Eventually, I will be forced out of the business, and then when I'm gone, the prices will rise." That's what happened. I can't win. The multinational was huge resources, and then can afford to trade with loss until I leave the market. That's why there's huge profit margin. That's why an MNC firm they can actually they can afford that thing, because it's like a promotional pricing. You can see it's like a for a couple of months, like 6 months is enough to actually close down one business. Even like 2-3 months also enough, because like that. So you actually promotion strategy you can see, but main reason they're charging very low price is actually drive out the e-commerce business out of the market. So question number one asking describe the pricing strategy behind being the used by the multinational. So I guess so you can easily answer. This is called a destroyer pricing. How can the new rival afford to trade at a loss? Because it's a multinational firm, they can afford that losses for a couple of months or even year. Okay, because they have a lot of profits. Because they mentioned in the case study also, MNC has huge resources and they can afford to trade at a loss until I leave the market, unquoted. So that's the lead diverse comments. Let's see what is the marking scheme for this case study was given. You can see activity number one, the diverse coffee shops. They say the pricing strategy, the multinational coffee chain in this case is using the predatory pricing or destroyer pricing, both same, predatory pricing or destroyer pricing, because they are selling at a half rate of the IDAR's selling price. The idea is that it's a very low price. It's set deliberately to undercut the competitors like Idaro. And once Idaro's coffee shop goes out of the business, the chain will raise the prices. So that's what happened. So and they're asking second question, how can the new rival afford to trade at a loss? Predatory pricing is an expensive approach because it usually means a business has to trade at a loss for a period of time. However, in this case, large multinational is using predatory pricing to drive out a small independent coffee shop. Like large multinationals will have a huge resources and can afford for one outlet to trade at a loss for a period of time. Yeah, so one outlet they can afford to for a period of time trade at loss is possible. That's why that kind of question, if you get this kind of question in examinations, so keep in mind you have to find out what is the strategy, and you have to write into the context what kind of a strategy they are using by multinational. Okay, so we are going to talk about the skimming pricing strategy. I think my last session also I talked about skimming a little bit. Skimming means charging opposite. I guess it's the opposite pricing of the penetration. Here, what happened? Skim means they're actually charging a very high price in the beginning when they launch the product, and then gradually when the market actually they are trying to actually capture the rich people, or they call the cream of the market. That's why we call skimming or creaming method. So then actually they're targeting the high net worth people, or we call the early adapters in the market. And then when they buy the product, so then you can maximize your revenue. And then later on, yeah, targeting the rich people and then middle income people and then low income people. Like that, they gradually reduce the price. That's what they do. So it's a setting high price initially and then low in the later. So this kind of a product normally you can see in the very popular the technology market like iPhone, Samsung phones, and then even the drug industry like that pharmaceutical product are normally they are producing and selling like this strategy, because when they wanted to cover the initial R&D cost, research and development cost they have spent on this product, so this strategy will allow them to cover their large amount of initial cost of manufacturing and everything. So this is the thing that you talk about. There are a group of customers they call early adapters. Early adapters are normally the rich people who can afford. They don't care about the price. If you want the product, they will buy. So this kind of a thing. And then it has been suggested that early adapters are younger and have higher social status with better education than the late adapters. So opposite of the early adapter is late adapters. The people who buy late. The people who buy early, they call early adapters. Like people with like a first class young and then rich people that call early adapters. So they may also have a higher levels of income and be more socially forward. It is reckoned about 13% of the consumers are early adapters in such markets. Yeah, that means but 13%, 13% of the market normally we can recognize that this kind of markets are early adopters market, which mean on the other hand, 87% of the market are late adopters, right? So that also keep in mind. So that's a penetration skimming, and we are going to talk about this one. The another actually this is the if you're adding something for the skimming pricing. Pharmaceutical companies also use this skimming. They sell new drugs with high prices when they are first launched. However, when the patents expire, like patent will expire in drug industry, like within 15 years. So after that, the competition emerge in the market, and then as a result, price can go down. So charging high price initially help to such companies to recover high research and development cost. That also keep in mind when you're writing for like a evaluation questions, analyze question. So you can write down this advantage and disadvantage impact of the skimming pricing. And then the promotional pricing. The promotional pricing means that products are normally they are giving at a low price, lowering the price of product for a short period of time. So that's the definition. Lowering the price of product for a short period of time for draw the customer's attention. It can be some specific season. It can be the New Year season. It can be a Christmas season. It can be for a Halloween season like that. So there is a summer. Sometime during some different seasons are there. People like used to do more shopping. So in that particular time, sometimes you can use a promotional pricing strategy for a short period of time in order to grab the customer's attention. So price may be cut for a number of reasons, because to get rid of the old stock before the start of the new selling seasons. So that's another one reason. If you want to like go stock clearance sales, sometimes you might heard this kind of a word like stock clearance sales. They are going to reduce the price and call sales, right? Especially electronic items like famous companies in the worldwide like Singer, Abans, and Softlogic Group and all that. Like all their brands like Beko or their refrigerators, even like Samsung, all their the products they are actually selling at a low price in that particular time to get rid of the old stock, because new versions are coming out in order to prepare for that. And then to generate some cash quickly to help to solve the cash flow problem. That's another reason. If you want to easily if you want to sell your software and you want to get some money, this is the method. Third one, to generate renew interest in existing product. So if you want to actually get more customers into the business and they're renewing their interest of the product, that's another strategy. And then to attempt to win a large share of the market by encouraging brand switching. So that's another thing. Like some people might thinking, why I'm spending this much of money for this product? I should go to this option also, like that. They're going to switch the brand not win the large market share. Okay, there are a number of different approaches of promotional pricing. Some examples are given below. First one is the discount and sell. You might see the discount and sell, 20% off, 50% off, 40% off sometimes, giving huge discounts. Like businesses are often cut prices for a short period, and they have sales where the goods are sold below. And the standard prices, some of these sales are seasonal. For example, in some countries, the sales may occur at a particular times of the year. For example, in USA, many retailers discount their product on a Black Friday, and this is the day after the Thanksgiving Day and signals the start of the Christmas shopping season. You can see in the online now there are so many options are there, like the Cyber Monday, Black Friday, like deals are going on like that. So that is a discount and sales they are giving for a particular seasonal offer. Another method of a promotional pricing is a psychological pricing. Psychological pricing, you might be noticed that in some products are there charging like 99.99 instead of £100. That is very common in everywhere, especially like if you go into the like a technology industry, if you buy a TV or refrigerators and everything. So you can see their pricing policies like that. It's always 499,999 instead of 500,000. It's like that. So why they are giving like a ₹1 or 1 cent discount? 1 penny discount, because it's a psychological thing is there, like people get like consumers in the first impression they're getting into their concept, the mind is okay, this is thinking that 99.99 is a significantly, it's a huge difference is there, it's in a very cheaper than the 100, right? Of course it is not, but the psychological effect often work for the business. So you might be wonder, that's the main reason, guys. It is psychologically, it has been proven that in the first impression that you can see, not in the even numbers, in the odd numbers. That's why like a lot of marketing people, they know the psychological impact on the pricing, the numbers. Therefore, if they have an odd number, they actually people are thinking, okay, this has really actually value inside than the even numbers and round numbers like the 100, 100, 200,000, 500,000, 1,000,000. Then saying like that, you can say 999,999, 999 numbers, right? Or 899, 799, 499. Always not 99, can be 173, 175, like that. You can see like odd numbers always make a big impression than the even numbers and the round figures. So that's the psychological pricing, right? If they ask to define psychological pricing, so you must be able to define the word of psychological pricing. It is where you set the price slightly below the round figure. And here must write the examples also something like this, charging 99.99 instead of 100. So there can be definition questions can become, but the advantage, disadvantages are very rare in psychological pricing because it's only just a technique of promotional pricing. Another method of promotional pricing is a loss leader. Loss leader pricing also we can see in particular markets, especially supermarkets. So they are selling the essential items such as rice, dal, and some vegetable items, essential items at very low price. But when they start shopping, you can see in the shelves, you can see most expensive items are there in the beginning entrance point. So those essential items, the discounted items are there in the corner or the bottom of the supermarket shelves. So that is because people when they go into shopping in a supermarket or somewhere, they don't want to just buy the discounted item. They want to buy other items as well, like other sometimes unwanted items. You can see the confectionery items, sometimes the soft drinks, and sometimes other unnecessary stuff, not being only essential items. So as a result of that, this is happening in the business. So loss leader are very popular with supermarket. The objective of this pricing strategy is to draw the customers into the stores where they will buy the loss leaders. Once the store is open, and then what happens, it is hope that the customers buy the other products as well. That's what happened. So overall, this will generate profit. Actually, this will be generating huge profit. Always you can see in supermarket when you go into entrance point, you can see the visible there are boards and the some cutouts and some kind of banners they are displaying. Okay, there is so much of benefits are there, this much of discount on essential items. But definitely you're not going to end up with buying only that item. You're going to buy other stuff as well, but other stuff are pretty expensive than the discounted items. So that's a psychologically, and also that's a loss leader marketing technique of promotion, the pricing strategy and the promotion. Okay, let's go to this case study, activity number 2, the pharmaceutical companies. In the pharmaceutical industry, the business spend a lot of money on the research and development. For example, in 2014, the Pfizer, they are the one who actually making some, I think, the COVID-19 injection also, Pfizer vaccine. And then the US drug company called the Pfizer company spent US dollar 7.2 billion on the R&D. This is the year 2014, right? In order to encourage the research on this case, on this scale, the pharmaceutical companies can obtain a patent when they launch a new drug. This is a license that protect the companies from competition for a period of time. Right? This means they can charge a very high prices until the patent runs out. So when the patent runs out, the competitors are allowed to produce a generic or non-branded versions of the drug and then compete with the original. The competition is nearly always result in the lower price. But this case, the COVID-19 drugs actually, according to World Health Organization, you can't take a patent right for this kind of a drug because this is a like a emergency situation, right? Like whole world need this kind of a drugs. Like in Sri Lanka also, we don't have enough vaccines now. Because of that, a lot of people are normally like, they're expecting even the second dose is we can't find. Right, so a lot of people ended up having only just the first dose. The second dose they are waiting until they're coming because you can't mix them up. No? There are different vaccines are there right now from Russia, from UK, from USA, from China. different brand names are there. So that's why this all drug companies, they are not keeping the patent rights, because they are giving that because if they keep the patent rights, it will be very expensive, and then other people can't actually produce this vaccine, this antidote. This is really important that in order, because of the it's a world emergency situation. So billions of people need vaccines. The entire population in the world is around almost close to 8 billion. But 8 billion vaccines is a situation like a dream level right now. So you can see now the business world, there is so many things are happening right now. Business organization. That's why these pharmaceutical companies are using different. We'll see what are the pricing techniques they use. In the next para, they are saying that this example, the atorvastatin for 40 milligram, the drug produced by Pfizer to help to reduce the risk of heart attack, was selling at $191 per month in the USA just after the drug went generic. In contrast, the generic producers of the atorvastatin 40 milligram was selling for $160 per month. So because that's the second version, generic producer was selling that one for cheaper prices. Initial price is 191, and then they are selling at second round 160. They reduced by $30. And another generic brand called the Lovastatin, same brand, same drug, and they're selling around about $51. So it's like a way cheaper than all other previous two per month. So although this was not exactly the same chemical composition as atorvastatin, but that means they are releasing the patents and all that medical research and publications. Of course, after that, all other drug manufacturers, they don't need to spend that much of R&D, so they can actually change the drug composition, and then they can come up with different brands. For example, like right now, COVID-19. So there is a certain vaccines are there, right? I think from the Russian one they call Sputnik, and then US they call the Cambridge Oxford vaccine, and then AstraZeneca vaccine is there also from India, and then Sinopharm vaccine is there from China. Like that, so different vaccines are there. Covishield vaccines from India, like that, different names of vaccines are there, and their reaction and the composition also different, and they are they are saying the percentage wise, the healing power, the immunity power also different from one vaccine to another vaccine. That's why this vaccination is important, and you can see that is the most important thing, because people have not immunity, not develop that, because it's like a kind of a pandemic case. This pandemic situation, people has to, everyone has to be, I think, vaccinated. This program, still the infrastructure is not enough, because 7 billion vaccines is like a dream number. So to give the vaccine for the whole world, it will take a long time. That's why I think they are giving at least for the people who are actually in the above 60 and above 30s, that endangered people, mainly like in the risk category, but still not there for the teenagers like you. And then there is no vaccines for the infants, and certain parties are still not get vaccines right now, because of the country levels, and the production is not sufficient enough in order to do that thing. Okay, so that's all about the pricing strategies in the textbook. Let's go to some questions. We can see the large versus small business. Even though large businesses like multinationals and PLC, public listed companies, or small businesses like sole traders and partnerships, the pricing is really important decisions for all of us. So businesses have to make a pricing decisions. One important difference between the large and small business with regard to pricing is that the larger businesses often have more control over the what the price they charge, and the large firms are more dominant in the market. Consequently, they tend to set the prices. Smaller businesses follow the example. That's called like loss leader pricing, or dominant firm charging the price. They have become the price, the person who make the price, like a monopoly, and other people will follow in them. And then it might be argued that the small business often use a cost plus pricing because it's easy for them to use. And this may be because it's easy to use and ensure that the profit is made. They guarantee the profit margin, and sometimes suppliers have to accept the prices that much larger business offer them. Right? This may not be in the position of negotiating higher prices. So that is also important. Keep in mind, pricing decisions There are some markets you can negotiate the prices, when there are some market you can't negotiate the prices, right? If you go to the like a small scale, like a retailer who actually selling the vegetables and fruits in the normal market, you can sometimes bargain and you can negotiate in some markets. But if you go to the like large multinational, like a chain shops, like if you go to supermarket, you can't bargain with the cashier. No? You can't bargain there. No? You can't always have to buy the product in the price tag, the tag price, the list price you have to always buy, right? So that's the thing. So take it or leave it option is there. So that like that option, so like a large businesses, you can't always argue and you can't bargain. But with the sole traders, sometimes when you go to like a let's say second-hand car sales shop, sometimes you can bargain with the prices. Okay, would you like to reduce what is your best offer for this vehicle? If I'm buying, what is my this is my offer? Would you like to sell me at this price? So you can bargain. That's like a method is there. But normally when you go into like a large company, like if you go to Toyota, if you go to Demo, or if you go into buy to AMW, or like a company, so you can't bargain with the company people, right? So if there's a brand new prices there, for example, okay, this Range Rover goes currently right around coming around 50 million. So you can't actually bargain with the Range Rover company. We can't bargain with the Tata, right? You have to buy you have to accept the prices, that is the list price coming with the vehicle. So in that market you can't buy. That's why they're mentioning with the small businesses you can't, like a normal car sellers you can bargain the prices, but large businesses you can't bargain the prices. That's it, because the power of the large company is very high. For that businesses you are just a one customer. For a small business one, it's not like that. Sometimes very few customers are there, so you want to quickly that sell the product. That's your intention. So take it or leave it. Option is the best thing. So always, sometimes the first offer should be the best offer in that particular way. Okay, now let's go to MCQ question. So I think you can communicate these questions, I think, from the chat line with me. Question number 1, the pricing strategy that involves setting a very high price initially when the new product is launched is called very high price initially. A, penetration pricing. B, cost plus pricing. C, promotional pricing. D, skimming pricing. Right. So I can see some couple of answers are coming in the chat line. Right. So under A, B, C, D, answer is D. Yes, answer is given by yes, student. Correct answer is D. Skimming pricing. Setting a very high price initially. That's a skimming pricing. Right. After that, they are reducing the price. Okay. Right. Number 2, which pricing strategy involves adding a markup to the cost of the product? Which pricing involves adding a markup to the cost of product? Okay, I got few answers. A, penetration. B, cost plus. C, promotional. D, skimming. So, yes, the answer is here. Adding a percentage of markup is the cost plus pricing. So answer is given by a lot of students here. Cost plus pricing. B is the correct answer for question number 2. Cost plus pricing. Okay. Question number 3. Which of the following factors might affect the price charged by a business? Which of the following factors might affect the price charged by a business? Competition. B, income elasticity of demand. C, the statement of comprehensive income. D, quotas. Answer is A, competition. So I got a couple of answers. Yes, answer is correct. All the answers correct. A is the correct answer. The main factor actually the competition, cost competition, right? The consumer perception, everything. Okay, question number 4, the last MCQ. Which of the following is an example of promotional pricing? Which of the following is an example of promotional pricing? We talk about there are 3 promotional pricing techniques are there. A, cost plus. B, skimming. C, price leadership. D, loss leaders. D, loss leader. Which of the following is an example of a promotional pricing? So it can't be definitely cost plus. It can't be the skimming. So the answer is loss leader. D, loss leader is the correct answer. I got a couple of answers. Those answers are correct, right? So following example, promotional pricing. There are 3 promotional pricing technique, right? If you remember, the promotion pricing 3 techniques are there. We discussed there: discount and sales, psychological pricing, and loss leader. So these are the promotion pricing techniques. 3 techniques: discount and sales, psychological pricing, and loss leader. Right. So that's the question they asked in the last MCQ question. So answer is the question D, loss leader, right? Okay, let's go to the chapter A questions. Nassar. Chapter A question, you can see Nassar is a high street retailer of a fashionable menswear. You can see this time even the GCSE questions, this kind of a question came next. The case study of the large business. The recent paper is the next fashion wear. The business has 23 stores in the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, and it's a fashion retailer with 23 stores in Dubai, and then a few neighboring Middle Eastern countries. You know, some other Middle Eastern countries you can see like a Doha. You can see sometimes other cities you can involve. You can see Sharjah. You can see Cairo in Egypt. So all that countries you can see. These are the main cities, Middle Eastern countries. There are other countries they are selling for 56 years, right? So its business was actually it's a long established business with more than 5 decades. The business has for a long time they are used the cost plus pricing strategy in their shops. So it is a simple pricing method, and all staff understand, and it ensures that profit are made. Right. For most lines bought in by the chain, a markup 40% they are keeping. Right. It applied to the cost get the selling price. Let's say if they import apparel from Sri Lanka for about, let's say, t-shirts they are selling. So let's say men's t-shirts. If they're selling, they're buying men's t-shirts at 1,000 rupees each. So they're keeping for 40% margin, 40% margin in their shirts, which means they're selling at around 1,000 to 40%, that 400. So 1,400 rupees. So it means 1,400 means literally in the dirhams around 26 dirhams. So it's like that, around that prices. So like if you bought it around 20 dirhams AED, they are keeping, let's say, 50% profit margin. So it's a 40% profit margin. So 20 into 40% means 8. So they can sell in that 28. Like, so 20 is the cost, and they're giving 40% means that is 8 dirhams. So 20 plus 8, 28, which is selling like that. So, so in next page, you can see the Middle East, the country they are giving this is a nice right photo of the Middle East model, and then you can see in 2014 and 15, the business started to feel that the impact of online competition is there. Like a lot of people used to buy their clothes order from Amazon and other AliExpress and all. Although the business was keen to hold on its traditional methods, the owners understood that if they fail to meet the customer needs, sales would decline. So as a result, what happened? The online operation was set up. However, the online operation and had problems. So and distribution was taking time to get established, because online operations was not that much easy to establish. You have to have, first of all, good infrastructure, that online platform you have to create it. And after that, you have to find the delivery platform also. How actually the online that orders you're going to deliver to the customer doorstep within like a minimum time. So this kind of infrastructure you have to establish first of all. These are the problems they face. And the business was also running short of cash. It was suggested that one of the managers that perhaps promotional pricing could be used to generate sales quickly. This was discussed at a meeting, and the managing director suggested that the trial should be undertaken. Okay, let's have some trial and undertaken at our stores, and then plan was to use the psychological pricing for a selection of 4 items on a 1-month trial basis. So they're going to have a promotional pricing. There are 3 techniques now. Remember, we talk about 3 techniques in promotion pricing: discount and sales, psychological pricing, and loss leader. So one manager says, okay, let's go with the psychological pricing, and the managing director says, no problem, we'll have some one store, because we have so many branches. Let's say we have one store, we'll doing some 1-month trial. Let's see how if the customers are popular, they like that product, we'll apply for other showrooms as well. So the selection of 4 items, they did this method, and then we can see this table, the sales of the 4 items in the month before the trial balance, and then shows the sales of the 4 items the month four items on the month of the trial. So before and after, you can see the position item number 1, 2, 3, 4. cost 200, 800, 400, 120, and they are using the cost plus pricing case because they're keeping 40% profit margin. So 200 plus 40% is 80 and 200 is 280. So 800 plus 40% and you're keeping the ceiling at 1120. 400 into 40% is 160. So 400 plus 160, 560. 120 into 40% is keeping that product, and then 168 years. It is a cost plus pricing. Sales would be like this: 150 items, 80 items, and 200 items. And this pattern they changed in the, this is before, this is after. During the trial period, you can see they have changed the prices. Cost 200, so the selling price they say, okay, let's sell it at 239. What numbers? No, 39. 800. Let's say we sell that price to 899. Reduce the price a little bit and then keep like odd number 899. And 400 they are selling around 519. No, not 560, 519. And this one 120 they are selling at 159. Okay, all the price you can see odd number. At the end, keep in mind to keep the 9999. Right? And then you can see the sales 100 increase to 150, 50 increase to 65, and 80 increase to 140, and 200 increase to 300. So increase by like a 50%. Okay. So they're asking what is meant by the, you can see there's a huge improvement, isn't it? So they're asking 5 questions. What is meant by cost plus pricing? You know, adding a percentage of markup to the cost. Work out the price Nassar could charge on the item costing in 428 for 240. Discuss on advantage and disadvantage of cost plus pricing. Cost plus is the advantage easy to calculate. Disadvantage you can see they are ignoring the market conditions. What is meant by psychological pricing? You can see reducing the prices and then keeping the price in odd numbers less than the like a full number, whole number, keeping the prices, reduce the prices and keeping it like as odd numbers, slightly reduce the prices, and then complete the table by calculating the revenue before and after price change and assess whether the sales using psychological pricing effective in Nassar. Okay, this kind of a question is there. Let's go to the marking scheme and see what are the answers for this question. So it's an easy question though. So you can see question number 1. Nassar's case study, cost plus pricing is a simple pricing strategy, and it involves adding markup to the cost of the producing, buying goods and sales. In this case, Nassar uses a markup of 40% of the most of the clothing application. And they're asking calculate the price for a 240 the AED worth item. So 240 into 40%. So that is 96. So 240 plus 96 is 336 AED. Right, so discuss one advantage, disadvantage, cost plus pricing. Business have to set prices that generate profit. One of the method is that cost are covered is a cost plus pricing. It's simple and involves adding markup to the total cost. In this case, 40% to the cost of the price that application. This method is common for all the retailers such as Nassar's. It is simple pricing method. All of the staff understand it, and it ensures that the cost are profits are made. And however, look at the disadvantage. One of the disadvantage is that this is the way you have to write. This is like I think everyone can manage this kind of like a sentence building patterns. Like on the other hand, however, this method is that is ignore the market conditions. And for example, or in this case, at the application, 336 price set by Nassar's for the clothing is that in this case may be too far too high in relation to the prices charged by their rivals. This might result in low sales and moving to the customers away from the all Nassar stores over a period of time. So setting a price without taking into account of the market conditions would be risky. That's why sometimes always stick to one profit margin will be too risky, because you don't know. Sometimes if you analyze the customer base and you analyze the competition in the market, you can find out the competitor rival products are way cheaper than your one. Your one so expensive because of your pricing policy. Therefore, customers are move away from you gradually. That's what happened. Question number 4. What is meant by psychological pricing? Look at the definition. One common pricing strategy is selling the prices slightly below the round figure. Keep in mind to remind this definition. Setting the price slightly below the round figure, charging 399 instead of 400. It's like that. So, and they have given the table. You can see they have given the table before and after. Before you can see they earn from first tier 28,000. Now they are earning 35,000. And before they earn 56,000, now they are earning only 58,000. 44 becomes 72, 33 becomes 47. So it's a very successful situation. And at the end, you're giving assessment also. In the month of trial, the cost plus pricing was used. Total revenue of the sales of items 162,400. You add it up and tell the answers. That's how you have to say. This is a very good answer, very good question also. Like with the calculation based response, right? Therefore, the both of the 4 items and revenue has increased significantly. Revenue has increased by this amount, by this 32%. Calculate the percentage of increase also. This suggests that psychological pricing was effective during the month of the trial and should be used across all Nassar stores. However, look at the disadvantage. Some caution is needed. Clearly, the alternative pricing strategy has increased the revenue. However, Nassars need to look at the profit as well. So you need to check that the business overheads have not increased by more than the increase in revenue as a result of selling more items. That's a really good analysis evaluation point. Profitability also you have to check. Overhead also you have to check, right? So that's the thing. So today, actually, my lesson was actually we finished with that. So the pricing strategy. So in my next session, guys, if my viewers in the YouTube, you can find out that my next lesson will be the place mix. That's a distribution channels we are going to talk in my next session. Okay, then from that we'll wind up my today's session. Thank you very much and have a nice day.